Hello again. My name is LeMay Irvin, and welcome to conversation number 13. I'm so excited to have you all join me again. Thank you so much for watching. I seem to be having a lot of conversations with a lot of different people regarding relationships, whether it's husband to wife, girlfriend to boyfriend, mother to child, sister to brother, sister to sister, aunties to niece. We are having a lot of conversation surrounding relationships. So again, why don't you join me today for conversation number 13? One of the things that you often hear me say is I love being a mother. And that is so true. I really, really, really love being a mother. What I loved is that I raised 3 wonderful, happy, healthy individuals. And I loved them all the same, and I treated them all the same. But what I learned in raising my children was, even though I loved them all the same, and even though I treated them all the same, all 3 of them required something different from me other than just my love. And so I had to understand what child needed more cuddling, what child needed more pushing forward, and what child, it just depended on the day of what they needed. And I had to learn as a mother that boys needed different things than even a little girl needed. And that I had to learn them as my children and learn exactly what they needed from me. Well, what I found out is that raising children is a lot like the relationships that we have in our adult life. You always have to understand this one thing about a relationship. Each relationship is different. Even when love is involved, you may love everybody the same, but each relationship will require something different from you. Some relationships will require more time. Some relationships require more nurturing. Some relationships require space. You just have to figure out the relationship that you're in. What does this relationship require? And then proceed in that manner. You have to define the relationship. Is this an acquaintance? Is this a friend? Is this an associate? An acquaintance may be someone that you walk in corporate America and say, good morning. How you doing? A friend may be, hey, sugar, how you doing? Good to see you. Blah, 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 blah. And you're just talking. And an associate may be, hello. Life. A lot of the conversations that I've been having lately are surrounding, I can't believe they said that. I can't believe they did that. I can't believe that they would think that they knew me well enough to act that way with me. And so I try not to smile when people tell me those things, because this is actually one of my favorite conversations to have. And so today, what I really want us to take a look at is we really have to start evaluating the relationships that we have with people, whether they're personal relationships or whether they're professional relationships. Because once you evaluate those relationships and you begin to understand the ramifications of these relationships and the parameter of these relationships, it equips you to be a better person in these relationships. Number 1, you have to understand the type of relationship that you have with someone. One of the greatest misunderstandings that I deal with as a person who helps people, it is when people think that they're closer to you than what they are. You always have to make sure that the boundaries of your relationships are extremely clear. And even I have had to learn that. I have had to learn that when I'm in relationships with people, I have to let them know really what kind of relationship we're having. Are we friends? Are we close friends? You know, what is the deal? And I realized that as I began to do that with people, my relationships started to be a whole lot better. And sometimes people are thinking that they mean to you more than what they do. And that's just honesty. It's not that you don't like people, but sometimes people feel like they're in your it club. And so when something happens and it shows them the contrary, that they're really not as close to you as they thought they were, either you're surprised or they're surprised. And so you really have to sit down, even with family, even with friends, and sometimes with coworkers, and let them know what the boundaries of your relationships are. And even in the professional world, you know, relationships evolve. Sometimes they get better, sometimes they get worse. I have people that I work with that I have amazing relationships with. I have people that I work with that at one time I had amazing relationships with, and you know, now not so much. And you know, because of productivity and counting and people wanting to be number one, so it changed the relationship based on a number. And so you will find this even in church. You know, you may grow faster than somebody else, or you may not be growing at all. Oftentimes those are the types of things that change relationships. Is in your relationship, you have to be honest about what your needs are, what your expectations are. Set the foundation in the very beginning, especially if you are finding yourself becoming friends or becoming close with someone, or you're entering into a relationship. You have to set the foundation and let that person know exactly what your expectations are. And anybody in a friendship with me knows, you know, I've had friends in the past, and I tell them, I just straight up tell them, I said, okay, see that, what you're doing right there? You keep doing that right there, you and I are not going to be friends, because I can't handle that in my life. And what that means is I don't have space for that. I don't have the mental capacity for that. I don't have the openness in my life for that. And so you have to tell people, that right there that you're doing, you keep doing that, that's not going to work for me. And so you always have to be open, and you always have to set the expectations as to what your expectations are in the relationship. I deal with a lot of people because of what I do outside of work, because I'm blessed to be an associate pastor at our church, and in my business that I have, I'm blessed to talk to and help a lot of people. But I also have a lot of people that are close to me, and then I have a lot of people that I help that they're close to me, but they're close to me in a different way. And so I have to set boundaries, and we have to set healthy boundaries. They have to know, you're not the person that I'm going to call and spend an hour on the phone with. You're not the person that I'm going to lunch with. You're not the person that I'm hanging out with. Again, nothing wrong with that. You've been upfront, you've been honest, you set the boundaries, but they should do the same thing to you. Listen, you're my person. You may be my mentor. You may be the person that inspires me. You may be a person that helps me build a strategy for my life, but that's where it stops. I'm not inviting you to my house for dinner. I'm not inviting you to hang out with my family and those different things. And when we set those boundaries, it just makes the relationship work that much better, because misunderstandings come and people get offended. You know, people get so offended because of what they thought. Well, a thought doesn't help if there's not an understanding between the people. And what I love about my life, and what I love about what I do, is I've been blessed to have best friends. And what I love about having best friends is it has afforded me the opportunity to have people that are close to me. And what I've learned and what I am learning is that it's okay to have more than one best friend, because each relationship is different. And then I have one person that is my best friend, like BFF for life, but I have multiple best friends. And they all serve different purposes, and some of them serve dual purposes in my life. But I do have one person that is absolutely my best friend, hands down, no questions asked. And what I love about the women that are in my life as my best friends, there is no pettiness involved. So in my close today, just really evaluate your relationships. Evaluate the relationships that are good for you. Evaluate the relationships that are healthy for you. And you have to realize when people aren't good for you, it's not good for you to be in a relationship with them. These relationships that are heart to heart, the Lord told me this week when I was praying about a situation, the Lord reminded me that the greatest thing was love. And so I remembered in my heart, God, you required me to love. That's the easy part for me. It's easy for me to love people. I don't struggle with that at all. I may not like things that people do. However, love is the greatest thing. And so our job is to show love and to be kind and to really define the relationships that we're in. I love you so much. As always, I thank you for watching. Have an amazing week. Tell a neighbor, tell a friend. Please subscribe, like, and share. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. God bless you. Have a fantastic week. Bye-bye now.